went to just trim it and I slipped. That's all it takes, guys. That's all it takes. It went zzz, it was gone. So I shaved my mustache and I left the beard and I saw my boys. They go, Dad, you really are Irish. You know, you're like a leprechaun, Dad. I go, yes, I am. We had a little fun. We pulled out the chops, but Jeannie vetoed the pork chops right away. She's like, get rid of those, man. Buzz the chops off. Then I tried having the goatee. Nah, that was out the window. And then I left the soul patch. Nah. I couldn't pull it off like Nico does, man. It's a good try. It was a good try, though. I gave my best effort. So I had to save it all. And when I looked in the mirror, I saw my grandfather. It's the sunken eyes and a little bit dark right here. See, last time I shaved, I didn't have all these wonderful wrinkles. I said, God, I look just like, we call him Pata. He had a wooden leg for most of his life. I said, I look just like Pata. I see him right there. You know, it was a good feeling. Because I love my Pata. He was a teacher for decades. In fact, he was nominated for Teacher of the Year like 1973, something like that. I got a book, Not for Glory, he was in. He was a great teacher, taught science classes, he loved it. He became the chair of biology, and he traveled from school to school. He knew all the superintendents, he knew some of the legislators, but every school he went to, he knew the janitors. He cared about everybody, respected everybody. He loved Jesus with his heart. He was a Gideon, so he'd go around giving out Bibles to jails and juvenile halls. He used to speak to juvenile halls, and he'd go there frequently. He lived a life that was well spent. His two sons loved him, admired him. I loved him. I admired him. He had this whole one of those cars with the back station wagons. And I remember sitting in the back looking out. But he had station wagons like 40 years, man. And he'd wipe it down every single day. That's how he got his exercise. He'd drive from Polo, Illinois, the cornfields, and he'd go to San Antonio, and he'd come visit us in Southern California. He had a couple of heart attacks in my family. My wife and my kids, they were real young. We went to visit him one more time. He was so happy to see us. It was one of those memories I'll keep with me the rest of my life. My kids won't remember, but I'll remember it. I remember him holding my kids and praying a blessing over each of them. That meant everything. That's why I went. I only got to see him a few hours. Then we had to turn around and drive 40 hours back or whatever it was. But it was worth it. His goal at the end was to outlive his wife so she wouldn't have to bury him. And he did it. And then he went to be with the Lord. And because where he lived at the time that he went to be with the Lord, there wasn't a lot of friends or family. You know, when you're young and you die young, everybody comes. When you're old, there ain't nobody coming. If you're real old, you outlived them all. So we just had a little gathering at my house with my dad and my mom and my brothers and my sister. Just us. At a house, thousands of miles away. And that was his service. And we all read what we wrote. And I tell you, the impact that he made on that group of people. God, if I could look like him a little more, maybe that's a good idea. You think of the end of our leaders. Think of the shepherds that finish well. And ask yourself, would it be a worthy life for me to live like them? Would I make an impact that God has put me on this planet to put? If I desire to build God's church? If I would do the work, and if I could finish as a good example, that's the challenge today. We invite the worship team to come as we prepare our hearts to close. Let me pray for you. Our Father,